And I am Aaron Nolan in for Nicole Burley. It is Tuesday, September 21st. This is News Nation's Rush Hour. Now, those top stories coming to you in just a moment. But first, here's what else is going on right now. We have News Nation reporters spread across the country. Tonight, we're also following the ongoing humanitarian crisis developing on the U.S. Mexico border. Governor Greg Abbott warning migrants not to make the dangerous trek into America as Border Patrol agents work to clear the sprawling tent city under a Texas bridge. The nationwide fight over abortion laws is taking center stage once more, this time in Missouri. We're bringing you both sides of the case. But we begin tonight with breaking news out of Wyoming. Within the last hour, the FBI confirming that the body found over the weekend in Grand Teton National Park is in fact Gabby Petito. And the initial cause of death is homicide. We'll take you live to Wyoming for a closer look at the initial autopsy results in a moment. But first, let's go live to Florida, where police are actively combing through a nature reserve area. Right now, they're trying to find Brian Laundrie, the fiance of Gabby. News Nation correspondent Brian Laundrie has been monitoring every breaking development of this story since the beginning. He is live once again in Northport, Florida. Brian, I've been following along with you on Twitter, and things have been very busy for you today with the search. Has anything or anyone been found?
Aaron, nothing has been found and no sign of Brian Laundrie out here, but we know that the search is going to intensify now that the body has officially been identified as Gabby Petito and that this is officially now being called a homicide. Take a look. This is a massive, massive wildlife reserve. It goes on for thousands and thousands of miles, and many of us are wondering right now, does the FBI know something we don't know that has led them to this specific area?
It's hard to imagine anyone would be hiding out here. Carlton Reserve is a wet, hot, miserable swamp infested with alligators and snakes. And it's the place where the FBI is now focusing their search for Gabby Petito's fiancé, Brian Laundrie.
Terrain's very difficult. Essentially 75% of it's underwater, and other areas that are dry we're trying to clear.
Navigating the reserve on the ground is difficult, so we went up in a chopper.
We're up over Carlton Reserve right now, and when you look around from up here in the helicopter, you can tell just how massive it is. 24,000 acres. I mean, it's hard to even imagine how they would conduct a search of this area. It's like finding a needle in a haystack. Brian Laundrie could be anywhere out here, if he even is out here. What's interesting is they're searching in a different area from over the weekend. They were on the Northport, Florida side of the reserve over the weekend. Now they're on the Venice, Florida side.
This photo from Okaloosa County, Florida, 7.5 hours from Northport, surfaced on social media Tuesday. Police say they searched the area and found nothing, and there's no confirmation it's Laundrie. Meanwhile, all is quiet outside Laundrie's parents. A day after the FBI searched the house, neighbors are getting frustrated.
Absolutely, he should turn himself in.
Turn yourself in. They're hunting. They'll find you.
And Gabby Petito's family has not spoken today, but their attorney did make a statement that says they will speak once Gabby is back home. Aaron.
Brian, as you were up in that helicopter, were investigators searching for a tent, a makeshift area that someone could sleep in? Are they just looking for someone walking or trying to hide out under some of that brush?
Really all of the above, Aaron, and because it's such a massive area and it's so flooded and it's so wooded, the air, searching from the air is really their best bet. They've got several drones out here and there were also several helicopters, but again today, no sign of Brian Laundrie.
Brian, how long would this take? Is there any word on how much further this could go, this search?
Well, that's a good question. We've been asking police. This is such a massive area. They could keep searching for days and days and days. We're not sure if they'll continue tomorrow, but we know they're still out there right now. They haven't told us what the plan is moving forward.
What about the news that we heard just about an hour ago that, in fact, that body was confirmed to be Gabby Petito out in Wyoming? Was there any reaction from agents that you've been around today?
So they're busy searching right now. Obviously, they all did get that news, and it was just heartbreaking, I'm sure, for them, for everyone covering the story, for really this entire community. I mean, it's news that we knew was coming. They made it pretty clear that the body was going to be Gabby Petito, but to see that now in black and white and sort of have it set in, it's just awful, awful to hear.
What is the attitude right now of those searching?
They want to find something. I mean, they spent the weekend searching out here. They did not search here yesterday, which was interesting, which leads us to believe that they might know something new. Did they find something in the family's house when they searched the home that is bringing them to this specific area? Because, Aaron, this is a 24,000-acre reserve, and they're just searching this area nearby where we are. Is there something they know that they think is going to help them find Brian Laundrie in this area where we are? We're still waiting to find out.
Brian Ensign reporting live for us out of Florida. Brian, thank you so much. Now to Wyoming. We do know that the remains found at Grand Teton National Park are Gabby Petito's. Marcos Ortiz is live for us at the park. Marcos, you've been following this story since the beginning. The coroner now saying this is a homicide case. What more do we know?
Well, there's a lot of unknown questions at this point. There certainly wasn't any answer in terms of cause of death in that short tweet that the FBI out of Denver sent at around 3 o'clock Mountain Time. Earlier today, federal authority forensic specialists were seen at the Teton County Coroner's Office, and we watched as they lifted bags out from the coroner's office into their vehicles there. We're assuming that it might be evidence related to the murder, and of course that's going to be key in this murder investigation. Also at that coroner's office, we did see someone we believe to be a Petito family member. That person was given a small piece of property, we believe, and perhaps it's something that belongs to Gabby. He grimaced before taking off. Now, the cause of death will take some time. I did talk with a former Utah medical examiner about this very issue, and he says that if there's no obvious signs of death, like a bullet hole or perhaps a knife wound, then it's going to be also taking some time. If the body is badly decomposed, he says it'll be difficult to tell if indeed Gabby Petito was strangled. So those are things that are continuing in this investigation. The FBI continuing also to ask for the public's help in all of this, and their contact number can be found on the website at newsnation.com. Also, one more thing that's interesting from my perspective, is Brian Laundrie now a suspect, or does he continue to be a person of interest? Back to you.
Marcos Ortiz, thank you so much. And at this hour, family and friends are gathering in the town where Gabby Petito is originally from, Blue Point on Long Island, New York. News Nation's Tom Negevin is live there tonight. Tom, set the stage for us as people get the news of the homicide confirmation.
Absolute heartbreak, you know, Aaron, and this is a very, very small community, a hamlet, really, and people here say, you know, this is who we are. We stick together. When a family here is in pain, we're all in pain, and we show our support, and they're doing that in a number of ways, most visibly with teal ribbons all over town, hundreds of them going up everywhere, along fences where we are, along trees, along people's yards, people showing their support for Gabby's family. This is her hometown where she's remembered as someone with a bright smile, the kind of person you just absolutely were drawn to, the kind of person who would light up a room. And the teal color chosen by Gabby's mother, it reminds her, she says, of Gabby's eyes, and she wants the teal ribbons to remind people of her little girl, and hope that maybe they'll think of the family as well and say a prayer for them all. It's been an excruciating few days. This entire process, obviously, Aaron, very, very difficult for the family, for friends, relatives here in this community. But the last few days, especially difficult as they wait for those autopsy results we've just received out of Wyoming. Knowing what they knew in their hearts, they said they were heartbroken over this, believing that this would turn out to be Gabby, which of course it has. Volunteers here say they'll be doing as much for the family as they can in the next few days, getting hundreds more of the ribbons to put around town in the 22-year-old's memory, supporting the family in any way they can. Her parents, Gabby's parents, who've been speaking up until now, say they won't be speaking again. You heard Brian say it. They'll speak again, make another statement. They say when Gabby comes home, and by home, they mean here in Blue Point, where at the local library, the flag is at half-mast. A vigil being planned here as well for Friday night, Aaron, and that is expected to be a big one.
Tom Negevin reporting for us. Thank you so much, Tom. Much more on this story can be found on newsnationnow.com. Tonight, thousands of people remain under that southern border bridge, even as the U.S. relocates thousands of mostly Haitian migrants from the rural Texas town of Del Rio. News Nation's Marky Martin has spent days in that town. She joins us live. Marky, you spent time talking with Haitian migrants. What are they going through right now, and what is their mindset?
They're going through a lot. A lot of them just called it hell today, Aaron. It was a busy day here, especially with the stop from Texas Governor Greg Abbott and the continued transfer of those migrants out from under this international bridge. And as of tonight, almost 9,000 of them still remain. I talked to many of them today, but they say Haiti is not their final destination.
I've been a long way to come here, so I can say I feel like a free slave.
25-year-old Darnie has been traveling since July with his wife, who's expecting their first child. They're two of the thousands of Haitians who wound up underneath the Del Rio Bridge.
True misery is like the hell. You don't have nowhere to sleep on the floor like that. And you don't have food.
After 6 days at the tent city, they're now at this processing site in Del Rio. Today, families are getting the chance to clean up before continuing on. Small children have also made the journey. One man telling us almost every woman here is pregnant.
The Biden administration is a man-made disaster of inhumanity.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott making a Tuesday stop in the border city.
It's not the Biden administration catch and release policy. It's the arrest and jail policy. If they're thinking about coming and crossing this river here in Texas, you may wind up with handcuffs on your hands, going straight to jail.
And until that happens, migrants like Darnie will get as far as they can go.
What keeps you going?
My dreams, I had a lot of dreams to realize, this dream keep the smile on my face every day.
And today, Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas and Vice President Harris also addressing the allegations that many of these migrants have allegedly been whipped by Border Patrol agents on horseback. They said they have launched an official investigation into this after being what they say horrified by images that have come forward. And just yesterday in a press conference, that Border Patrol chief not denying that this kind of behavior or treatment could have happened. Aaron.
Now, Marky, you mentioned that some of these people at the processing center are continuing on. Where are they going?
Well, Aaron, that's the interesting thing. I talked to many of them this morning. There were about 100 there at that processing center. None of them seemed to think they were going back to Haiti. And I looked at their paperwork. I talked to them. Some of those destinations we saw: West Palm Beach, Florida, New York, Houston, Kentucky, California. The list goes on. Darnie, who I spoke to, said he was going to Houston and had full belief and faith in the fact that he could stay there. And lastly, he did say the timing of his journey did coincide with the fact that there was a new administration in the White House. He said that he and many migrants believe that now America is more welcoming. Aaron.
Marky Martin reporting for us out of Del Rio, Texas. Marky, thank you so much. President Biden is back in Washington right now after his first address to the UN General Assembly in New York. He urged allies to work together and insisted the U.S. and China are not in a new Cold War. Instead, calling for a new era of, quote, relentless diplomacy. News Nation White House correspondent Allison Harris is live in Washington. Allison, what did we hear from the president today?
Well, Aaron, President Biden went to the UN today on a mission to convince the heads of state from around the world who were there that America is back and ready to lead, rebuilding trust with allies that was damaged by former President Trump. But it is a tough sell as America's allies question U.S. leadership after the messy end to the war in Afghanistan, and France is angered by the U.S. making a deal to sell nuclear-powered submarines to Australia, undercutting a contract for France to sell lesser-powered submarines to the country. President Biden, in his remarks today, made a case that the world cannot give up on solving raging conflicts like climate change, like COVID, cyber threats, and, though he didn't mention China by name, talked about the global threat of China. President Biden delivered a passionate defense of democracies, saying supporting human rights and dignity for all is both in the DNA of the U.S. and also in the DNA of the United Nations. The president also sharing his fear that the world is headed toward autocracy and away from democracy. President Biden today hit back at the UN Secretary General, who warned this week of a new Cold War between the U.S. and China.
We are not seeking a new Cold War or a world divided into rigid blocks. The United States is ready to work with any nation that steps up and pursues peaceful resolution to shared challenges, even if we have intense disagreements in other areas, because we'll all suffer the consequences of our failure.
The president is also committing $10 billion to fight hunger around the world. The president adding that he will have an announcement tomorrow about the U.S. continuing to contribute to the global vaccine supply, saying that the COVID crisis is borderless. Aaron?
Allison, thank you so much. Here is a live look at our nation's capital, where House lawmakers could vote as early as today on a measure funding the federal government while also raising the nation's debt limit. Democrats say their bill would avoid a fiscal crisis if Congress passes it before the government runs out of money at the end of this month. News Nation's Anna Warnicki is in Washington, D.C., with why Republicans say they're not going to vote for it.
Aaron, by attaching the debt limit suspension to the must-pass funding bill, Democrats really put Republicans in a tough position. Either vote for the bill and raise the debt limit, which Republicans have strongly opposed, or vote against it and spark a shutdown. House Democrats are rushing to get their spending plan across the finish line. On Tuesday, unveiling the text of the bill, which would fund the government through December 3rd, provide $28.6 billion in disaster relief, $6.3 billion to support Afghanistan evacuees, and suspend the nation's $28 trillion debt ceiling until after next year's midterm elections.
The bill that the Speaker Pelosi is bringing through this week will not become law. They're going to have to go back to the drawing board.
But Republicans, including Louisiana Congressman Steve Scalise, say even if Democrats pass the bill in the House, it will hit a dead end in the Senate.
They shouldn't try to tie it, by the way, to a bill that funds basic needs of government. And the Senate's made it clear they're not going to go for this.
Utah Republican Senator Mitt Romney says raising the debt limit would create a credit crisis.
That's not something we're going to do. If they're going to spend all the money on their own, then they're going to pay for it on their own.
Playing games with the debt ceiling is playing with fire.
But Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says inaction would be dangerous.
It could stop payments to Social Security recipients. It could stop payments to veterans. It could raise interest rates, making a mortgage, a car loan more expensive.
Any bill needs 60 votes to pass the Senate, which means Democrats would need the support of at least 10 Republicans to pass the House spending plan. And right now, Republicans say they won't support it. In Washington, I'm Anna Warnicki. Aaron, back to you.
All right, Anna, thanks. A new tool in the fight to contain COVID-19, as Johnson & Johnson said today that a second dose of its COVID vaccine provides a strong immune response months after the first dose. Now, you may remember Johnson & Johnson differed from the other vaccines because it required only one dose. But the company says new research shows a 2-dose course is more effective. That second dose can either be administered 2 months or 6 months after the first. J&J says levels of antibodies were 4 to 6 times higher in those who received the second shot 2 months after the first, but a whopping 12 times higher in those who got the shot 6 months later. Johnson & Johnson says the 2-dose approach was 95% effective at preventing moderate to severe COVID cases in the United States, while the 1-dose approach provided only 81% protection against hospitalizations. And health experts say rise in vaccination rates are slowing infections across the country, most notably in California, once considered an epicenter of COVID cases. Now the state with the lowest coronavirus case rate in the country. News Nation correspondent Nancy Liu live tonight in Santa Monica rather. Nancy, what's believed to be responsible for the drop in cases?
Well, Aaron, health officials credit mitigation efforts, but also one of the highest vaccination rates in the country of about 60%, and more than 80% have had at least one shot. But experts stress the pandemic is hardly over, and winter is coming. Tonight, the number of COVID patients in California hospitals is down by about a third. The summer surge due to Delta appears to be over.
It's great that we're seeing cases go down, but even more important than cases going down, we're seeing hospitalizations and deaths go down as well.
According to CDC data, California is the only state with a 7-day case rate below 100 per 100,000. West Virginia has the worst rate of infection with more than 715 cases per 100,000. That prompted this recent plea from Governor Jim Justice.
We're going to run to the fire and get vaccinated right now, or we're going to pile the body bags up.
The situation also remains dire just north of California in Oregon. ICUs are full and ambulance backups are common. Ditto in Tennessee.
I tried to fight through it as much as I could, as much as I can, because I know that somewhere out there, there's somebody else that needs this bed desperately.
In California, doctors credit health officials for being proactive as well as reactive. Many communities have reimposed an indoor mask mandate regardless of vaccination status. And vaccination is required in many workplaces, including healthcare facilities. Mandates are also in place at schools, with LA County requiring all students over 12 to be vaccinated by January. But even here, vaccine holdouts have experts fearing another surging mutation.
What we're concerned about is that the circulating virus may be resistant to vaccines and may be more deadly. And then we're really right back where we started in March of 2020.
California's improved COVID situation has actually led to a shortage of monoclonal antibodies here. That is the treatment known to prevent critical illness in COVID patients. However, HHS is sending higher rations to the hard-hit areas such as West Virginia and Kentucky. Aaron?
Nancy Liu reporting for us out of Santa Monica. Nancy, thanks. Still ahead tonight on News Nation Rush Hour. Amid a growing push to restrict access to abortions nationwide, the issue is taking center stage today in Missouri. What happened today as a federal appeals court considers the state's new law? Plus, nearly a month after Hurricane Ida wreaked havoc across multiple states, we're hearing a story of survival and selflessness. How a duo of doctors battled rising floodwaters to save a man's life. Just a few weeks ago, Hurricane Ida battered the Northeast with heavy rain that left unprecedented flooding in New York. Two doctors braved the dangerous conditions to save their patient having a heart attack. Today, News Nation reporter Michelle Ross with our station WPIX in New York was there when they reunited for the first time since that night.
Next thing you know, I'm here, and the doctor's stuck in a flood.
Angel Rosa chuckles about it now, but in the moment, suffering a heart attack, it was no laughing matter.
The nose of my car went underwater, and I hit the gas, and I came out on the other side, on halfway in and halfway out up the block, and my car died.
Dr. Frank Tamburino of Staten Island University Hospital was trapped in floodwaters during Hurricane Ida. His colleague, Dr. Wasim Hoyak, came to his rescue in a Range Rover. Passing flooding cars, the two navigated the flooded streets of Staten Island.
I'm laying on the bed there waiting for the doctor. Two other doctors standing there, a couple of nurses. I'm like, let's go, let's get this show on the road.
Angel's wife, Minerva, says it was the worst night of her life.
When they told me that the doctor wasn't there yet, I kind of flipped, and I knew what was going on outside. He didn't.
I remember distinctly running up soaking wet. I was wet all the way up to my waist. And as I came out of the elevator, I saw your wife sitting there. And the first thing she said to me, she goes, "Oh, doctor, are you okay?" I says, "I'm fine. I'm going to go take care of your husband."
Dr. Tamburino says it usually takes an hour for him to begin treatment for a heart attack. But this night, it took almost an hour and a half for him to help Angel.
I feel great. I'm grateful for life, grateful for my family, grateful for you, Doc, and all the great doctors in this hospital.
And with a second chance at life, Angel is spending more time with family and cherishing every moment he gets with his 5-year-old granddaughter, Yael.
Still ahead tonight on News Nation's Rush Hour, we're taking you to the baseball diamond, but the players are not the ones you're used to seeing. A closer look at the prep work in place for next week's congressional baseball game. And it's happy trails to the Happy Meals we all used to know. Coming up, a closer look at the new type of toy that will soon be showing up in those meals that just make us smile. Happy Meals, after the break. And thanks for joining us tonight on News Nation's Rush Hour. I am Aaron Nolan in for Nicole Burley. Here's what's happening in your nation right now. Breaking news this hour, the FBI confirms the body found in Grand Teton National Park Sunday is missing YouTuber Gabby Petito. Her death has been ruled a homicide by a Wyoming coroner. Meanwhile, the search for Brian Laundrie continues. Police today combing Florida swamps and reserves looking for Gabby Petito's fiancee. The couple was on a months-long trip across the country when Petito went missing. Laundrie is thought to be the last person to see her alive and is a person of interest in the case. President Biden is back in Washington tonight after a busy day focused on foreign policy. He began the day in New York with an address to the UN General Assembly, his first as president. Biden called for more cooperation from allies, especially on the pandemic and climate change. After returning to the White House, he talked more with British Prime Minister Boris Johnson. Tonight at 8/7 Central on News Nation, a live conversation with former UN Ambassador John Bolton. He'll talk with On Balance host Leland Vittert about America's relationship with our allies and the challenges we face. A 3-alarm fire broke out at the Louisiana Superdome this afternoon. New Orleans Management Services said via Twitter that a worker was transported to a medical facility with minor burns to the face, arms, and chest. The facility has had crews making repairs on it after Hurricane Ida made landfall last month in New Orleans. The cause of the fire is unknown. Tonight, as even more states consider new restrictions on abortions, other states are facing legal challenges to bills banning the procedure after the first few weeks of pregnancy. We're now just a couple of months away from a key hearing on a direct challenge to Roe v. Wade. Just yesterday, the U.S. Supreme Court announced it will take up a Mississippi lawsuit that could determine whether all state-level laws banning abortion are unconstitutional. In Texas, 50 major corporations signed a letter this week opposing the state's law banning abortions after 6 weeks. Companies like Lyft, Yelp, and Ben & Jerry's are arguing the law is not only against their values, but bad for business. And in Missouri today, a federal appeals court heard arguments in a case that will decide if the state can implement a law that would ban abortions at 8 weeks. News Nation's Emily Manley from our station KTVI in St. Louis joins us live. Emily, what happened in court there in Missouri today?
Well, Aaron, I want to start off by giving some background about this legislation. It actually was passed by the General Assembly in Missouri back in 2019. And as you said, it would ban abortions after 8 weeks. But it also would prohibit mothers from having abortion if they had a prenatal Down syndrome diagnosis. Well, before that law was set to go into effect, it actually was blocked by a federal judge, and it's been an ongoing lawsuit since then. Today, a rare move, though, that all 11 federal judges in the Circuit Court of Appeals here in the 8th District that's located here in St. Louis heard the case. Now, of course, Attorney General Eric Schmidt said that he believes that this shouldn't be allowed in the state of Missouri. Governor Mike Parsons signed that bill banning abortions, but the law also, as I said, did not also make sure that mothers cannot have abortions if they have that diagnosis, but it does exempt people that have either survivors from rape or incest. Now, that wasn't the main focus in today's hearing. Another part of the law would prevent abortions based on that Down syndrome diagnosis. And Attorney General Eric Schmidt says roughly 70% of babies in the U.S. are aborted due to Down syndrome. While Chief Medical Examiner for Planned Parenthood here in St. Louis, Dr. Colleen McNicholas says it's not a decision the state should make.
Whether to have an abortion should not be up to the Attorney General or the lawyers for the state of Missouri. It is a personal and individual decision that only the pregnant person can make.
I mean, this is modern day eugenics. I mean, this is discriminating to the most extreme level, the elimination of an entire class of people because of a trait.
Now, there's no idea when that court will make the ruling here in Missouri, but the Attorney General hopes it's a quick decision. Planned Parenthood is the only abortion clinic that's still open here in the state of Missouri, and that's located here in St. Louis. Back to you, Aaron.
All right, Emily, thanks. Democrats and Republicans are returning to Nationals Park next week to face off in the annual congressional baseball game. This comes after the pandemic delayed the fundraiser. News Nation's Jesse Tenor is in Washington, D.C. with today's baseball practice.
Good evening, Aaron. This is a chance for lawmakers to take their differences from the floor to the field and come together to potentially raise a record-breaking amount this year for local charities. A bipartisan tradition since 1909, returning to the ball diamond.
Baseball is a sport, you go throughout history, that has brought America back.
Texas Congressman and Republican coach Roger Williams says this year's congressional baseball game is no exception after the pandemic canceled last year's competition.
It brought America back in World War II, it brought America back at 9/11, and it's bringing America back now.
I think we're going to win.
Tennessee Congressman Tim Burchett and his teammates are ready to break the Democrats' winning streak.
I've got a lot of pent-up, angst politically and policy-wise, and I'm going to take it all out on them on the baseball diamond.
Texas Congressman Jody Arrington hopes a Republican win would foreshadow next year's midterm elections.
The foreboding of the bloodbath that is 2022.
This game, though, is about more than just partisan bragging rights. It also raises money for charity. And lawmakers tell me they're on track for a record-breaking year.
The last number I heard, we're getting close to $2 million.
The funds go to D.C. area charities like the U.S. Capitol Police Memorial Fund and the Boys and Girls Club.
Charity's been hurt through COVID, so we're able to bring that back too.
The large crowd of families, staffers, and fans will also return to Nationals Park to root for the red or blue. And Democrats have also been preparing for the big game next Wednesday, but have yet to hold an open practice. In Washington, I'm Jesse Tenor. Back to you, Aaron.
All right, Jesse, thank you so much. Tonight, the end of an era. Julia, let me see that. No, these things aren't going anywhere, but the toy inside, they're changing. What we know about those new toys coming up right here on News Nation's Rush Hour. As a kid, the best part of a Happy Meal, well, it was what was inside, not the food, not the fries. It was the toy, and I just broke it. Soon the toy inside the bag at McDonald's. Everybody's laughing at me. I broke the toy, guys. It was Pluto, and I broke. Soon the toy inside is going to look a little bit different. The burger giant announcing today they are phasing out plastic toys for more eco-friendly options. News Nation correspondent Janelle Ford is live tonight. Janelle, what does the future of the Happy Meal toy looks like? And I hope you don't break yours like I just broke mine.
Well, Aaron, we're kind of getting a preview from across the pond. McDonald's started this phase out in Europe first, where if you get a Happy Meal there, you'll likely get a soft toy, a paper-based toy, or a book.
The little surprises in McDonald's signature Happy Meal used to market movies, shows, and even other toys are getting an eco-friendly makeover. The fast food giant announcing today it's bidding farewell to plastic toys and hello to trinkets made from recyclables and plant-based materials. McDonald's, now the latest company jumping on the sustainability train, pledging to cut its use of virgin fossil fuel-based plastic in its toys 90% by 2025.
We have a ton of plastic toys at our house, so the less plastic toys, the better. And I do think they go to waste often, so I think it's great. Every little thing helps.
This climate push goes along with the company's bigger plan to cut greenhouse emissions from its restaurants and offices by more than a third by 2030. And while many agree it's a good step, there are questions about how far-reaching the impact will be.
I think it's great, but as a mom, I guess I don't really see a huge benefit to McDonald's or to families because families are still buying tons of plastic toys. So I'm not sure that it would really make that big of a difference to the environment.
Now, Aaron, you ruined the surprise. I did get a toy myself before they phased out these plastic ones that were really signature to our childhood, right? This one, Disney theme. I'm gonna open it up, so stand by, give me a second.
Yep.
The plastic says Raya the Last Dragon. I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't have any kids, so I don't know what that is. But this is my toy. I haven't broken it. It looks like it's one of those like roly-poly things, like the little bugs.
His name is Tuk Tuk. And yes, it is a Disney character from Raya and the Last Dragon, Janelle. Yes, that is the case.
You must have kids.
I do. I do. In fact, my 2 kids are watching. Yes, Avon and Lily. I will bring you one of these home as I come home tomorrow. Janelle Fort reporting for us. Janelle, thank you so much. Still ahead on News Nation's Rush Hour, we've got some royal news. Prince Andrew hit with sex abuse legal papers, what the documents allege, and what's next for the Duke. News Nation's Rush Hour continues now, live from our headquarters here in Chicago. Here is what's going on in your nation now. We're starting to learn more about yesterday's shooting at Heritage High School in Newport News, Virginia. Police say a 15-year-old male student is responsible for shooting 2 other students at the school. A family member turned the gunman into police yesterday, just a few hours after the shooting. He's facing at least 8 different firearm-related charges. More legal issues for the Murdaughs in South Carolina. A lawsuit filed today against the family and a convenience store on behalf of Connor Cook. He was a passenger during a boat crash. The family's son, Paul Murdaugh, was allegedly drunk driving that boat before his own murder. The lawsuit claims Paul, who was under 21 at the time, purchased large amounts of alcohol from the store using his brother's ID. Police in Los Angeles County are seeking the public's help in a possible abduction case. Surveillance video captured over the weekend in the city of Bell Gardens shows a woman attempting to exit a silver-colored car before being grabbed by a man who then forced her back inside. He then gets in the driver's seat and leaves the area in reverse. Authorities also say it may have been a domestic incident. New video today shows more of what led up to the assault of a restaurant hostess in New York. We've been following this story from the beginning. At first, the restaurant said the attack started when she asked the customer for proof of vaccination. Then the attorney for the 3 women accused of assault said the hostess used a racial slur. This new security video has no audio, and the lady's attorney says the restaurant selectively edited it. That attorney pointed to another video provided to the New York Times, which seems to show the hostess taunting the customers. He also says witnesses have detailed it as being racially motivated, and accused Carmines of gaslighting those asking for answers. Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer announced plans for construction of a segment of road that will charge electric vehicles while people drive in Michigan. The project would be the first of its kind and would include public transportation vehicles and private vehicles. The state plans to release a request for proposals by the end of the month to evaluate and implement the stretch of road. Unstoppable rivers of lava continue to flow toward the sea on the Spanish island of La Palma following a volcanic eruption there on Sunday. Some of the lava flows are close to 20 feet high. The eruption forced thousands to evacuate and destroyed nearly 200 homes. And check out this drone video captured the moment lava fell into someone's swimming pool. You can see the pool's water starting to boil as the black molten lava oozes in, sending a huge plume of steam into the air. The royal family is yet again topping your entertainment news. Prince Andrew officially served papers in the bombshell sex assault lawsuit against him. News Nation's Samantha Cortez from our Los Angeles station KTLA joins us live. Samantha, good evening.
Aaron, good to see you. Yeah, the prince officially was emailed and FedExed. The Duke's lawyers got those papers yesterday morning here in Los Angeles. A lot of people following this case said finally, because they've tried to leave him at his gate, never got the papers until now. We finally have our hands on those. This is the second oldest son to the Queen. He's being sued by Virginia Jeffrey for damages. She claims the prince forced her to have sex with him at least 3 separate locations, by the way, before she was 17 years old. Jeffrey also claims she's a victim of sex trafficking. Jeffrey Epstein, that name rings a bell for a lot of people following this story. Prince Andrew, supposedly friends with him, and the prince consistently denies these claims, by the way. Andrew has 21 days to respond or face the prospect of default judgment against him. A lot of people now saying his lawyers are going to argue, you're in the United States, you can't hold us to that.
All right, Samantha, let's move a little bit away from Britain and go to Dancing with Stars. Actor, singer, and YouTube icon JoJo Siwa making history. Tell us about it.
She sure did. First contestant ever to dance with a same-sex partner, and she did it beautifully. Highest score of the night. I love Cody Rigsby. I'm a big fan of the Peloton instructor, but I have to put my bias aside for this groundbreaking story. It's the first time we've seen a same-sex couple dancing on Dancing with the Stars. Jenna Johnson was her partner for the season 30 premiere. JoJo went on Instagram to talk about how proud she was of the evening. Jenna also showing her support on her Instagram account last night. But also, Aaron, I thought this was kind of fun. Jenna mentioned something she hadn't thought about with all of her other dance partners on the show. When two women are dancing together, sometimes the outfits might get intertwined in a way that a suit and maybe no shirt would. So she said her partner JoJo helped her out when she got kind of nailed in the thigh there from a move last night. But with an ice pack, Jenna said she's so ready to go. JoJo, like I mentioned, top score of the evening on Dancing with the Stars.
Samantha, I expect some big bows later on from JoJo Siwa in Dancing with the Stars. Samantha, thank you so much.
Sure.
We want to leave you with a
Thanks,
smile
Aaron.
when we can. If you open up social media right now, you might see this trending. There never was a cloudy day on the 21st night of September unless you were in Chicago tonight, where it is a little bit cloudy. The song topped R&B and pop charts in 1978 and takes social media by storm on this day each and every year. And tonight, Earth, Wind & Fire's Soul will sing in New Orleans. Love the 21st night of September. Love was changing the minds of pretenders. That's all we've got for Rush Hour.